Hello my dear friends, and welcome back to another video. Happy Christmas Eve if you celebrate, and today I have an early present for you. Some pretty huge updates, and as has been the trend over the last couple of weeks, some more Ahsoka details have emerged thanks to, you guessed it, MakingStarWars.net, and I will say that this brand new information that's been revealed in their latest livestream is the most exciting that we've had in a while. So no more jibber jabber guys, let's dive straight into this. So their latest report focuses on Ivana Sakno, but also Ray Stevenson, and as you're gonna see, a beloved character set to appear. So this is what they say. Who is Shin? If you've been following the recent stories I've dropped on Thrawn, you have read a ton of implication that Thrawn has some kind of undead or rebuilt army under his command on the Chimaera. Yes, the Chimaera. This is huge. Thrawn's command ship is in Star Wars Ahsoka. That's right guys, fans of Star Wars Legends, in particular the Zahn trilogy, are going to have a field day. Making Star Wars then say they recently broke stories about Babylon, who is Ray Stevenson's character, the second in command under Thrawn. But now we have some more information about the character. Several sources have confirmed to me that Ivana Sakno is playing a new character named Shin. Shin is the apprentice of Babylon, who's a Force user who's embraced the dark side. Probably in allegiance with the Night Sisters, she is cold, calculated, and desperate to prove herself to her master, and it's also believed she has a red lightsaber. According to their sources, Babylon was a survivor of Order 66, and he fled to the unknown regions after becoming corrupted over time, maybe from the influence of life with the Night Sisters. They then say that sometime around Return of the Jedi, just before the series takes place, Babylon takes Shin on as his apprentice. They say around the same time, Thrawn and Babylon became allies, and Shin is tasked to hunt down and kill Ahsoka, so very similar to Morgan Elsbeth when she wanted Ahsoka dead. Well, these guys are part of the same story, but this time Thrawn hires Shin and Babylon to kill Ahsoka. Both are trained in the ways of the Force, but Shin is his dark side apprentice, and it should be noted there are many parallels between Babylon and Jorah Sabaoth. This is going to be no problem for Ahsoka though, because she grew up during the Clone Wars fighting characters like Ventress, so it's doubtful that Shin has any chance. But the biggest threat in this show is Grand Admiral Thrawn. Making Star Wars say that Babylon and Shin are a mystery to Ahsoka at first, but she learns about them through the course of the episodes. In terms of timeline and context, they then address a big connection to Star Wars Rebels. Ezra and Thrawn have separated. They say Ezra sounds like he's in hiding, perhaps lost on purpose. Ezra finds out that Babylon is evil, and they speculate he stays in hiding because evading Babylon is more doable. Making Star Wars reiterate that Ezra doesn't know about the Battle of Endor, the death of Palpatine, the victory of the Rebels, and generally the fall of the Empire. But Ahsoka and Sabine Wren are out there looking for him. Eventually they say Ezra and Ahsoka have to fight Babylon and Shin to safely return home, and they say not only does Thrawn want Ahsoka dead, but also Luke Skywalker, so he might appear as well. And finally guys, and here is a huge part, Mon Mothma is expected to be in these shows. This makes a lot of sense if we're eventually going to see the fall of the New Republic. And Mon Mothma famously created the Military Disarmament Act, which left the galaxy vulnerable to an unknown threat. So Genevieve O'Reilly, probably aged up a little bit, is going to feature in these shows. This is absolutely huge. So let's be real here, this is quite a lot to take in, but there are so many crazy details to look forward to. In my opinion, Mon Mothma appearing gives me great hope that the Ahsoka show and the Mandalorian Season 3, because she might appear there too, are doing justice to the cinematic trilogies in the time period between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. We might also see the likes of Admiral Akbar and some other classic heroes as well. The New Republic grew arrogant over time and staying oblivious to very real dangers and threats that existed on the edge of the galaxy. In some of the post-Return of the Jedi novels, we see instances where they decided to ignore perils on the fringes of the galaxy, and it all comes down to them believing that fascism in the form of the Empire could never rise again, all the while the Imperial Remnant was growing stronger and lurking in the shadows. And overall, this is a really great time for Mon Mothma. She was in Andor, she's going to appear in the Mandoverse shows, and possibly in the Bad Batch Season 2. She's finally getting the recognition she deserves as one of the most important characters in Star Wars history. And as I say guys, following the Book of Boba Fett, we're probably also going to get some more Luke, and I wouldn't be surprised using the deepfake algorithm if they decide to bring in Han and Leia. That'd be incredible. A lot to look forward to with these Mandoverse shows, and speaking of which, tomorrow is Christmas Day. Now we were originally rumoured to get the Mandalorian Season 3 trailer, but I wouldn't count on it. Bear in mind Season 3 got pushed back to March, and so it seems like they're going to focus on the Bad Batch first, but you never know. And so now, my dear Mandalorians, we have a few updates for Star Wars movies. Ever since The Rise of Skywalker ended, we've been wondering when is the next Star Wars film, and we've covered all the rumours, all the speculation, and despite a few cancellations and pushbacks, it's been more or less confirmed the next Star Wars movie is 2025. But is it going to be Taika Waititi's film, or that of Damon Lindelof? Well, it turns out, according to Bespin Bulletin, it's going to be the latter. Here's what they said. The journalist that first broke the Lindelof story back in the spring, Jeff Snyder, has since said he believes that Waititi's film would not be the next one to release, despite the fact that Kathleen Kennedy said it would be. In fact, it's going to be Damon Lindelof's film that's going to take the December 2025 release date. During the latest episode of the podcast The Hot Mic, Snyder was asked about the upcoming Star Wars movies and which one he thinks is going to be the next to be made, and he says, "I think it's Damon Lindelof, and that movie will probably go into production next year, so 2023. Snyder's comments reiterate what he said in the past. Lindelof is currently writing the project alongside Justin Britt Gibson, and the film will be directed by Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy, who is best known for her work on Miss Marvel. Lindelof reportedly has a writer's room for the project, and they speculate Dave Filoni is part of it, which is really exciting news. And they also say that this film is supposedly being set up as a standalone, but if the movie is successful, they will leave room for sequels, but we don't know which era it's going to take place in. We did hear rumours it's going to be post-Rise of Skywalker, but some reports say it's going to be High Republic. So possible tie-ins with The Acolyte. Following his Lindelof comments, Snyder turned his attention to the other Star Wars films that were announced, and somewhat unsurprisingly he says that Taika Waititi's film and that of Kevin Feige might never get made. That's right, they might be cancelled like Patty Jenkins' movie. He has no confidence in the production on those, so despite there being a slew of Star Wars films announced, they believe the one by Damon Lindelof is the only one that's going to be made. And with all of this stuff, guys, all of the stuff to do with the movies, we have no official word from Lucasfilm or Disney. They've not given us any clear dates, but Snyder seems to theorise we won't have to wait much longer, because we will get updates in April at Star Wars Celebration here in London. And so one last thing, my dear friends, in the community tab I asked you guys, are you hopeful for Star Wars in 2023? We have all these great shows, The Bad Batch Season 2, The Mandalorian Season 3, the next installment of Star Wars Visions, Ahsoka, and maybe Skeleton Crew. Well, here was the breakdown of results. 54% said they're very excited, 31% say they're cautiously optimistic, 10% said I don't know, and 5% said not at all. Personally, I'm very excited, and outside of the TV shows, we also have Jedi Survivor, so share your thoughts in the comments down below, guys. If you didn't vote on this poll, let me know in the comments down below. Are you excited for Star Wars in the new year? If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and if you want more videos not found here on YouTube, then click the link down there in the description. You also get your name at the end of my videos. Here is a preview, but until the next one, guys, may the Force be with you always. And I genuinely believed that this film was going to unite the fandom. How wrong was I? Well, let's take a look at what Inverse say, because they've written a piece called "The Last Jedi didn't deserve to be controversial at all. Structurally, tonally, and thematically, The Last Jedi felt like a huge departure. Luke Skywalker was talking about this being the time for the Jedi to end, while Kylo Ren was encouraging everyone to ditch the nostalgia of the past, and quote, kill it if you have to." And obviously with the lightsaber splitting in two, a lot of fans took that to be kind of like a metaphor, a physical division within the fandom. But 5 years later, is The Last Jedi truly a transgressive Star Wars film? Here is why the passage of time has revealed that The Last Jedi is perhaps the least controversial and most traditional Star Wars film of them all. A very hot and strong take.